think that's one of the reasons why Clinton won. You know, Clinton had this. No matter what.
I'll tell you, when we first had this conversation about the letters, you were right. And
you know, I was just playing it up, and these guys are like, "What? It has a boost." You know, I mean, for 25-year-old guys.
Poor job of organizing, poor job of educating too. If I click that, you should be able to see me. You should be able to hear me. But just me. Why just me? Especially on a night like tonight. Just let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Hello, everybody who's already joined. Pam, I see Pam. I see Susan. I see JT. I see Army Brad. I see Melissa. Thank you, Melissa, for How Are Your Feet? I see Craig and Marshall, big supporters of ours and really big help over there on the platform Facebook group. Let's see. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me, and then I'll keep. Oh, we can't hear P. Really? You can't hear me? You're lying to me, Raw, aren't you? Yeah, you can't hear me. Okay, that's good. That's good. So why is it just me? On a night like tonight, why is it just me? Why is it on a night when we have a Greek person who is going to talk about advocacy, we don't have Dimitri with us? On a night when we have somebody who's Greek and going to talk about advocacy, because I don't know if you know this, but Dimitri is Greek. If you don't know that. He's Greek, and he does a lot of advocacy stuff. But he's not here tonight because he had some family issues to deal with. So I'm going to take care. I'm going to try to take care because there's like a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do all at once. You know, run the show, talk to the guest, do all these things on the side. He's very good at it. Me, not so much. Not so much. But so far, we are error and issue free. Let's see. Before I get into this, I want to do a couple of things. First of all, thank you to Dan Donahue, my pal over at 𝗏𝗄𝗃 Vapor in New Jersey. He brought in the Z80 kits, and he has them for sale over at his shop. You know, I miss you, Dan. I was actually talking to Dan today a little bit behind the scenes. I haven't seen Dan in a long time. Used to see him all the time at the shows. Even went to China with him. As a matter of fact, see him a lot when I go to see my family, because I don't know if you noticed that. The one of those addresses there, the Saddlebrook address, and by the way, if you are in New Jersey and you want a Z80, go visit Dan. And you should have a Z80. You should, because it comes with the Zenith too. And the Z80 is good too. But the Saddlebrook location, why is that one close and special to my heart? Because it is literally 5 minutes away from my parents and the house that I grew up in Lodi, New Jersey. How about that, right? So that's why I used to walk from my house to the Saddlebrook Mall. It was more like a plaza. And I would have walked right past. There was no Good Karma at that time, because, you know, when I lived there, it was a long time ago. Used to walk right past where he is right now. So anyway, I'm going to try to watch the chat as I do everything else here. But I know Bill Tarling is here, and he's going to send me any messages that you might have for me or for our special guest tonight. Before I bring on our special guest, I had not an epiphany. I just had a moment. I had a moment this week, and the moment bothered me. I went to a vape shop. This is a big mistake. I had to bring something. I'm not going to say the name of the vape shop, but I had to bring something somewhere. And next to where I had to bring something to, there was a vape shop. And I said, you know what? I need a particular pod. And the pod... Hey, David, thanks very much, man. I appreciate that. The pod that I needed, because whenever I do the reviews, I do the draw estimate chart. So I actually take all these pods out and I try. I'm like, okay, it's close to this one. It's close to this one. I have one pod that broke, and it is the pod that I use on the Caliburn G and the Coco Prime. Okay, same pod. So I went into this vape shop, and I walked in, They didn't have it, which is very surprising because I would have thought like the Caliburn G would have been a popular thing, but or the Coco Prime from 𝗂𝗋𝗋, but I just didn't like what I saw. I didn't like what I experienced. I know it's going on. I know it's happening, but what I saw at this vape shop, that's what they call it, a vape shop, was about 25% vapor the way I understand it. 25% devices that are designed to keep us healthier than smoking cigarettes. 25% of tobacco harm reduction, right? And the rest was CBD, kratom, Delta-8, glassware, bongs, pipes, papers. And that's just scratching the surface outside of that 25%. Now, we've said it before on this show. We have said many times that we're not against any of that. I'm not. Look, do what you want. I really don't care. I really don't care. You know? But what would, let's say somebody who's 60 years old and they want to give vaping a shot, and they walk into that shop, and by the way, everybody was very, very young in there working the shop too, and they walk into that shop, how are they going to feel? What are they going to think? Now, again, you know, I'm not against it, but I still have a feeling that it has a very negative stigma at this point. Maybe sometime in the future, generations from now, things like that won't have a negative stigma, but I still think that they do. And just being in that vape shop, I felt dirty walking out of there. I felt dirty, and I questioned what I'm doing. I don't like that. I questioned whether or not I want to continue this, whether or not I want to continue to do reviews, whether or not maybe it's just time for me to walk. I did not like the way I felt when I walked out of that store, guys. I really didn't. And when I tell people now that what do you do? Well, you know, I work in the vaping industry. If what they think of as the vaping industry is what's going on in that store, what are they going to think of me when I tell them this, right? It really bothered me. It really affected me, and I just don't know what I'm going to do with it at this point. The thing that keeps me going are all of you, right? The thing that keeps me going is that in my mind, because when I tell somebody that I'm in the vapor industry, it's like after I say I'm in the vapor industry, there's like a story after that. I tell them why I'm in the vapor industry. I tell them what I do in the vapor industry. I tell them what I'm against in the vapor industry. I tell them that we work to convert adult smokers who have tried the standard cessation products but have not worked, right? Those are the people we're after. We're not after I said totally against young people vaping again. But this is the thing. I tell them that I'm in vaping, and then I have to like follow it up with all that shit because I don't want to be associated with that side of things. Yeah, it's bugging me. So maybe I'll read some of these messages a little bit later on. But I mean, how do you guys think that I should feel? What do you guys think that I should do? Again, the thing that's keeping me going is knowing that, you know, maybe we could still touch some people's lives and save some lives by getting people off of cigarettes and moving them over to vaping as we know it. Vaping as I grew up with, right? Vaping that is tobacco harm reduction. Let's see. There was that. Was there something else that I can't remember? There was something else, but if I remember it, I'll bring it up. But anyway, I want to bring in our very, very special guest right now. And there she is. Look at the lovely. Now, let me ask you a question, Maria. First of all, give me a check here. Can I get there? We go. I should be able to hear you now. Yep. Why is it that, yeah, you know, Raw Chuck, I understand that this is what they might need to do for them to keep in business. But how about opening something right next to it's going to be the downfall of our industry. Whether or not you believe that, I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Okay, if this is the direction that we're headed. So, you know, we can say all day long, and because I understand that that's why they're doing it, right? Because they need to supplement their income because vaping is taking a dive. But as they're doing that, they're doing more harm to the industry. All right? So say that all you want, but that's just going to add to our demise, in my humble opinion. Why is it that Greeks have so many syllables in their last names? It's very, very difficult to... It's 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗹. The only thing I know is that your last name ends in 𝗓𝗠.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's a spelling error, and it just stuck with me. My mom, so the letter U in Greek looks like a Y. Like, anyways, it's a long story, but it's 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗹. I took on my husband's name because I figured after 11 letters, adding another 4 at the end of 𝗬𝗍𝗐 makes no difference to most people because they can't get past the papa.
Would you be incredibly disappointed or upset if I called you Maria P?
No, absolutely not. That's kind of like my thing. I'm good with it. However, it is a conversation starter, and everybody remembers me by my last name once they hear it once.
There you go. There you go. Well, anyway, Maria, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on the show tonight. I am sorry that Dimitri could not join us tonight, but you know, he had some family issues to take care of. And he will be back with us next Tuesday, hopefully. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing a couple Facebook Lives on some of the 𝗖𝗔𝗐 pages. We'll let you guys know about that. We're going to answer some questions, and we're going to give away prizes, including the prize that we are going to give away tonight, which is going to be the very limited edition. And I should have one in my hand, but I don't right now. I'll see if I can get one in a while. One of the very limited edition Z80s, the DP show edition with the DP on the side, along with the limited edition Golden Zenith as well. Okay, so we're going to pick the winner at the end of this show. Okay, when Maria is done explaining to us what is going on in Canada, because the shit's going down in Canada too, huh, Maria? I remember, I remember talking to people up in Canada and having people tell me, we got nothing to worry about. We're in bed with Health Canada. They understand us. We understand them. We're doing everything that they want. They're never going to ban flavors. What happened?
Health Canada proposed to ban flavors, but they've taken it like a couple steps further than that. So here's the thing, is that our government right now, okay, put it this way, we're dealing with a regulatory public health agency that literally went on record and said one of the reasons for Health Canada's slow response to COVID was vaping. So we got blamed for Health Canada's slow response to vaping, if that kind of gives you an idea of the sense of value that they have for someone who smokes. I believe in all my heart that the spirit and the essence of the Bill S5, which transformed into the Tobacco Vaping Products Act, was instrumental in creating an industry that was legal in Canada, that we had access, and then that we could start working towards creating a safer, even more safer product. However, when you have organizations in Canada, so everybody has to understand that aside from big tobacco, we have big pharma heavily lobbying our government. And one of the biggest, and again, I hate when people think I'm putting on tinfoil hat. When we're looking at this and just like the facts, one of the most profitable illnesses are tobacco-related illnesses for the pharmaceutical industry. So we have to look at that. So much lobbying. EVALI happened, and then boom. We're also blessed with the wonderful, and I say that with sarcasm, David Hammond, who wrote a paper that was completely misrepresented. It was debunked. They had to have it removed, yet he went on sabbatical right before the paper went removed. Health Canada stopped hearing and allowing our voices to be heard and discluded our voices from their decision-making process. And nothing is more prominent than the fact that they discluded the voice of almost 24,000 Canadians who said they are opposed to a flavor ban. 24,000 Canadians said we're opposed to a flavor ban. Health Canada said, well, if we include those 24,000, again, this is a reenactment, folks. Was not in the room. They were like, well, if we include those 24,000, that means that only 1% of Canadians are opposed to a flavor ban. Well, you know what? Let's just throw them all out and say we exclude them for this part of our paper and the reasoning. And so therefore, 66% of Canadians oppose a flavor ban. 66 from 1. And let's take that further. They use the data from those 24,000 to support their nicotine cap. We are never in a position to negotiate vaping. We are in a position to fight and stand up against the continued marginalization of human beings. This isn't a cash cow. This is a life. And when people wonder why we fight so hard, and the people in this chat and the people that are fighting, and maybe they do get discouraged, but they're not fighting. I'm not fighting so I can keep my shop open. I think people need to understand that. I'm fighting because I was a smoker. I am fighting for the quality of my life. And I am fighting for every single person who has trusted me since 2013 to help them make the switch. And that's a big deal. And I've done a better job in every single shop in Canada, even, the ones that sell cannabis accessories. We're not allowed to sell cannabis. We have very different laws in Canada, but they've all done one thing. They have helped people stop smoking, and no public health unit has able to do those numbers. So what went wrong? The wah and our kind of lackadaisical, and the fact that we continue to feel like smokers as vapers. And I think that was the biggest thing. They took advantage of the fact that we were used to being told, okay, one more regulation, then let's layer on another regulation and layer it on later on. And before you knew it, you're covered up to your neck in regulations, and then they smack you with that flavor ban. And we were too passive. We didn't fight back, and we're here. However, that does not mean our voices do not matter. I hope this will ignite a light under everybody's ass or butt. Am I allowed to swear on this show?
Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So here's the thing. No matter where you are in this world, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter what country you are, remember that no one has the right to make you feel grateful for access to a harm reduction product. Just because you smoked, and smoking caused harm, and I get it, and we've dealt with years of being shamed as smokers. We have so many moms, one of the hardest group of people to quit smoking, and I call it the soccer moms, and I'm sorry if that stereotypes it, is because moms use that cigarette because they hide in the garage. It's their meditation. It's their time away, because most moms can't even go pee without their kids disturbing them, but their kids will never find them smoking. So we have all this stuff and they don't think about it, but we're worrying in Canada about the kids. And I get it. We should not have kids should not have access to vaping products. However, I had access to cigarettes. I had access to hash. I mean, I don't think we had marijuana in the 80s as prevalent. There was lots of hash running around Toronto. We had access to cocaine. I never did cocaine. I just want to clear that up right away. But we had access to all these booze. I remember hanging outside the beer store trying to get someone to buy me beer so I could go out and drink at the park or by the beach. We had all those accesses. What we didn't have were these parents who started freaking out and sending us to rehab because we took a toke off a joint. So you have all these things coupled together, and we have the perfect storm of let's save the children from the mean vape shop owners. And it is very offensive for someone to even think I need a child's allowance to make my rent. Let's look at the basics here. This is what went wrong. We didn't speak up enough. What will go wrong is if we don't speak up enough, and we need to have these platforms to speak up. And for the very first time, I truly, with all my heart, believe. And I don't look at unity as something that a group of people do in the same way. I look at unity as the goal And if every single one of us is taking steps in our own way, marching to our own band, drummer, doing it our way to that end goal, we are united. And I think for the very first time in Canada, when you're looking and talking to people, yeah, we're kind of like, we're all the same, but we have the same goal. Let this regulation, let Canada Gazette 1 not turn into Canada Gazette 2 and become a law. Because history has shown us that Health Canada does not listen to our opinions. So we need to continue to make noise. And God damn it, we are fucking making noise in a 36-foot bus.
Good. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that, okay? And you also have one of the things that we say about the TPE, yeah, the TPD,
𝗵𝗶𝗶, Tobacco Vaping Products Act.
the TPD in the EU.
Okay.
Is that when government got involved with that, right? They actually made vaping less safe, right? Because now you got to mix your own liquids. I mean, what could the reason possibly be that the bottle can only be 10 mils? That's just ridiculous stuff, right? And you kind of have a bombshell that we're gonna let go a little bit later on, where once again, when governments get involved, they make things less safe. And this is actually something that you found out today, and you're gonna kind of. We're gonna break the news here on this show, as a matter of fact, right? Because you have permission to
quite
talk
a bit.
about
We're gonna break some of the information that we found out from this news because I haven't gotten all of it.
Yeah,
but it is very concerning. And if this doesn't piss you off, to send write a letter to your MP, member of Parliament, or to your to Health Canada, or to respond, I don't know what else will, because I just want everybody to know you deserve better. Just because you smoked does not mean you need to be continuously victimized by the same public health unit that is trying to help you become a healthier person their way.
yeah. And thank you, Army. I know it's TPD. TPE is the Tobacco Product Expo in Vegas. I think that's where I was like confusing that. What's the progression? And see, this is different. What's happening in Canada, because when your nic cap went through at this point, right? Am I right?
Oh, we got the nic cap I think they announced the flavor ban and then the nic cap within a week of each other.
Okay, so neither has gone through yet?
No, the nic cap went through. We had exactly, manufacturers had 15 days to comply. And the only change from the original document to the finalized was they gave shops an extra 15 days to clear their inventory.
Okay.
Look, I don't use over 20 milligrams of nicotine. I use 12 at most, usually 3, but it's not that doesn't work for me. I'm not here to judge what someone else uses to stop smoking. And it's heartbreaking where Health Canada, I think they said something like, and I'm going to make up a number, but they were okay with people returning to smoking. They literally said that in their official document. And yet, that's okay. Why? Because we have allowed ourselves to continue to feel like second-class citizens because we have an addiction. I'm here to tell you, addiction is not an excuse to be trampled over. Addiction is not an excuse to feel that you don't have the ability to speak up. They are telling you who you are. You are not that person. They do not define you. Unfortunately, if we don't speak up and push back, they will define how we live and how we may have access. And the thing is they're pushing us to an unsafe product, black market, back to bathtub juice. This industry has put innovation was the first name of this industry. When you see people pushing themselves to create a better product, and then you have regulations that come in to restrict your ability to create something that is better, safer, more effective for the person, the smoker. That's what they've done.
Yeah. And just to be clear, the regulations, when you're talking about the nic cap, that's countrywide. And the upcoming flavor ban, that's countrywide, right?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between what's happening there and what's happening here. Here, so far the flavor bans have been state by state by state. Nothing has been done federally yet. But in your situation, where if the hammer drops, that's the end of flavors, right?
Yeah, like we have some provinces that have flavor bans, and we've seen increase in tobacco sales like overnight, 23%. You look at the study that's happened in San Francisco, where it was the first city that did a citywide flavor ban. You're looking at increases of people returning back to cigarettes, right? Point blank. But if we don't fight this on a federal level, countrywide, we have no ability to fight this at the provincial level or even the city or municipality level. We're done. So I understand that provinces like New Brunswick, which currently I do believe there is going to be a lawsuit being launched very shortly, Nova Scotia, PEI, Prince Edward, like, and they're smaller provinces, but they are no less important. They follow the same laws. They're from the same laws. Like, we have the same constitution, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So if we don't get everyone to speak up and out to send stuff in, it doesn't matter. We've lost, and we will. I know we're fighting for every single province, but right now we need to fight for the whole country at the exact same time.
Yeah, and now with Health Canada, I mean, weren't you basically promised? I mean, weren't you?
First of all, sorry, can I just say something? Because I came up with this because I'm going to make the T-shirt. Do you guys remember when we used to have those T-shirts at the shows that would say 𝐹U*K big tobacco? Well, I'm making shirts that say fuck you HC Health Canada, because that's how I feel.
Yeah, I know that's how you feel, but does that accomplish anything other than making you feel better?
No, but sometimes you just need to it's called self-care, Phil. Do you not have an Instagram feed?
No, I hate Instagram.
Hashtag self-care Sundays.
No, I basically hate all social media. Like, Twitter to me is a cesspool of people arguing with each other. I try to keep off as much social media as possible, which is really bad because I'm kind of in a business that lives on social media, but I hate it. Dimitri, on the other hand, works that social media like a 16-year-old girl. He's unbelievable.
Well, we just became Facebook friends today.
We did. And I don't know why we're not Facebook friends, but I did the post, and I tried to tag you in the post, and I'm like, why can't I find your name? And then I realized we weren't friends. We're friends.
Now we are. Now it's Facebook official.
We're friends now. So in Canada, I mean, it kind of started with everything was hunky dory, and then was like the first thing that happened was that the advertising where you had to put screens on the windows?
No, that's a provincial thing. What we weren't allowed to do is the first thing that kind of happened was the labeling, like the sign of the poison symbols. What we're allowed to put on our labels, like no animals, no cartoon characters, fictional, like no hand, and then nothing that would really depict. If it was a dessert flavor, so you couldn't put a picture. If you had cotton candy, you couldn't put a picture of cotton candy. So, and then that also included, so we racked up nationwide as an industry, and that includes convenience stores, and that includes head shops, 80,000 violations, according to Health Canada. Now, this is where they start manipulating the stats. So if I had a bottle of juice and I didn't realize, let's say the poison symbol wasn't the right size, or the font wasn't the right size, or if I didn't write milligrams per milliliter and I had 12 bottles of that in one strength, that consisted of 12 violations on that 80,000. Now, my shop has had violations. Now, the violations that we had is we had a mouse pad that had a picture of a monkey behind the cash register. That was a violation. So including that. So they're manipulating it. They don't say to them that, if they went to a pod manufacturer and they had pods and they didn't realize, they decided that one of their flavors was candy and not fruit, and they had an inventory of 100, chances are all 100, depending on the inspector, made that violation list. Yeah. So that 80,000 is probably repetitive over 20, 30, could be like 100 brands. But
so they padded the numbers.
They showed all the numbers. They didn't pad anything. They didn't explain the numbers.
Right. Well, they made the numbers work in their favor.
Yes.
Right. To speak to the narrative that they wanted to portray.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But what's really interesting, in and around that same time, Health Canada also said that they were going to give us health statements, relative risk statements that shops could use and we could use in advertising. So example, vaping is safer than smoking, switching to e-cigarettes will reduce the harm by 80%, because that's what the new Health Canada number is, because they don't believe Public Health England. So those, even though we've been waiting for them for years, they never kind of followed through with those regulations. We're still waiting for those health claims. So if a shop tells someone inside the shop, inside the doors, yes, this is safer than smoking, I do believe, guys, don't quote me, but it's like a stupid amount, like maybe 50,000. I have a wall in my shop that shows people who quit smoking through vaping with their photos. That wall is a up to $500,000 fine, 18 months in a federal prison. Now, I sell a vaping product to a minor. My first fine can't be more than $3,000 and no jail time. Now, explain to me how we're doing any of this for the children. If the punitive repercussions of these regulations had anything to do with saving kids and access, our punitive repercussions would show that. Not because I've got Tom, who's 72 and quit smoking and has a sign that said he smoked for 50 years and he quit smoking using root beer flavor.
So I want to get your take on that. I want to ask you, the question is going to be, why do you think this is happening? Like, why? Right? If it's not about the children, why do you think it's happening? I want to get your response on that in just a little bit. But isn't Health Canada basically going back on their own word when it comes to, these flavor bans, right?
Because they're going back on their word. They're lying. They lied to the Senate. They lied in the spirit of this. This is the most un-Canadian. Well, I mean, we've done a few un-Canadian things lately. However, this is this is an un-Canadian thing.
Right. So I've got a couple clips. And maybe you could speak to them. So let's go to this one here first, if I can make this happen.
Legislation and the intention to develop regulations associated with it, and that the goal would be not to restrict the ability to make various chemical flavorings, and in fact there are, as I understand, almost a limited number of flavors that could be used for vaping products, but the goal is to limit the ability to promote a specific flavor which might be particularly appealing to youth. And so you'll see the theme, as you well know, in the legislation over and over again around protecting the youth. So in fact, it may be that a particular flavor which might be seen to be helpful again for those who are in attempting to reduce smoking and want to be able to use a vaping product that has a palatable flavor. What we don't want to see is products that promote themselves to be bubblegum flavor, for example.
Okay, and I want to thank Brent Stafford for that, because that's actually a clip from his show, not the actual court thing that happened, right? But it is from his show, and basically there, I mean, they said flavors are going to be okay. It's just how you market the flavors have to be controlled, right? What you name the flavors have to be controlled. What you put on the bottle has to be controlled, right? And as far as I know, you guys made those changes. You followed the rules. You did what they asked, and that wasn't good enough, right?
No, and that was Jane Philpott. She's no longer in government. She's also a doctor, and we've had two other health ministers since her as well. So she was in charge of Health Canada at the time, and this was the commitment that she made. And I know a lot of people trusted what we had no reason not to trust them at that time. Like, literally had no reason to trust them. I even went in, they gave me a meeting. Me, Maria Papayawani, do it. I emailed them and asked them, do you have free time anytime in 2019? I said, I'm available from January 1st to December 31st. Give me a date. The date they picked was on my birthday, but I showed up.
Yeah. Here's another clip, very, very similar to the first one.
In fact, it's in the advertising and in the promotion where you might prohibit them saying chocolate or bubble gum or candy, but that actually you're not going to prohibit any of those flavors for anybody that wants to have them, any adult that wants to have them as part of a cessation program. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, and you're absolutely right that this will be done largely through regulations, and of course there'll be, as with any regulations, opportunity for consultation in that process.
Okay, so there it is again. It's just in the advertising and the sales. And I'm sure that you guys were in the same situation that we were like years ago, where I mean, the bottles were not good, the labels were not good. I mean, they were super child friendly, right? I mean, they were very attractive. I remember walking past the vape shop. It was in New York City. Back when it was safer, in New York City. It was there for the holiday time, and I was with my brother, my sister-in-law, and my little niece, and we were walking around, and we walked past the vape shop, and she goes, "Oh, Daddy, look at that," right? And it was like her favorite ice cream flavor in like a little bottle of e-liquid that was super child-friendly, right? So, I mean, I get that. I get that we needed to control, and I get that also that we kind of shot ourselves in the foot with a lot of the things that we've done in the past. I mean, the industry itself has caused a lot of its own issues, right? But again, they're saying that we're not going to tell you that you can't use the flavors, but you can't use friendly names and friendly labels and friendly, child-friendly bottles, right?
Can I say something, Phil?
You could say whatever you want.
Thank you. I knew, but that was just what I'm trying to say is that we always say we caused a lot of the problems. We also had an opportunity to redeem ourselves. And we stepped up to the plate. We stepped up and we self-regulated. We worked together. So here's the thing. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are dealing with a product, and you made a mistake. But when given an opportunity to redeem yourself, when you see an entire industry work together to redeem themselves, that has to count for something. And that should be equally as valuable as the fact that we made the mistake, but we fucking stepped up. And when you look at the labels in Canada and you look at what we have from manufacturers, I can't speak for every shop because I cannot, but when you look at the players out there that are working hard, we are redeeming ourselves every step that we can. They told us to do something. So I think the fact that we fucked up in 2013 and 2010 as a new industry, so excited that we finally found something to cure us from smoking, and given the opportunity to make it right, we didn't say, fuck you, we want those those childlike labels. We said, what do we need to do? Let's figure it out. Help us. We got it. So it goes both ways.
Let me give you my take on that. Okay. A lot of people stepped up. A lot of people try to do things the right way. A lot of people in this industry still do things the right way. And they present themselves professionally, and their product looks professional, and they do everything in their power to make a good, clean, professional, mature adult product, right? Mm-hmm. And as all those people are doing that, every day, another 50,000 piece of shit disposables with cartoon characters are coming out. Okay? So once again, the industry is shooting itself in the foot. You cannot have this much of the industry doing the right thing and then this much of the industry saying, fuck you, I'm going to do whatever I want to make a dollar and throw the industry right under the bus. Okay? And that's what's happening.
I understand that, but we cannot negate the fact that we're stepping up.
I know, but you know what? Nobody cares about anybody stepping up as these assholes make the rest of the industry look bad.
I wish I could yell at them.
Yeah.
My Greek mother with the spatula. I just hope and I pray that more people will look. And I know that, and I see that. I'm not selling over 20 milligrams. And I know a lot of my customers are going to the place across the street and buying it under the counter.
I know.
But I can't focus on that because I'm trying to do the best that I can and motivate the people that care. And I totally get it because your passion is equal to mine. Well, I mean, I think we're equally passionate. We're both European, I believe.
Oh, yeah. We both got the Mediterranean blood working.
Yeah, we got that.
Absolutely.
Like Mediterranean blood.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is a golden, we don't burn. We just get red from passion.
And you know what? Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just expressing my frustration in things that I see in the industry, right? Every day. And you know what? Army Man Brad, right? What he said, it's just so true. It's so true. And I've been saying this for years. I'm going to say it a little bit differently than the way he said it. I am sick and tired of the rights, freedoms, and liberties of the good being taken away by the actions of the bad. Sick of it.
Amen.
Sick of it.
Amen. And I understand. Sorry, I just got a note. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. We're both dinging. It's okay.
Yeah. I understand the fact that convenience stores and stuff, like I understand that part, like, because I don't think every convenience store should have access. But when you look at a country like Canada and you look at the remote areas, like, sorry, I forgot to tell you, Nunavut, our indigenous population, which has a 70% smoking prevalence, banned flavors. Nunavut, like our indigenous community that is the most most susceptible to addiction, they banned flavored vaping products and nick-caps before the country did. However, in a place like Nunavut, in a place like the Yukon, in a place like the Northwest Territories, where you can't have a vape shop that will survive because there's not that much of a population, we need access at convenience stores. And I do think there needs to be a nationwide kind of thing. Like, I think there's a guy in France, a professor that has created a certification policy for vape shops in France. Like, I mean, we got to look beyond that. We can't just say remove it from there because we take away access for certain people. We've got to create a standard, and our government needs to play along. The problem is our government doesn't fucking give a shit. They care about their tobacco money.
Isn't that the key? Isn't what you said the key, right? Let's take the THC market, right? So okay. THC market in a state, it becomes legal. What do? They create a dispensary. You got to be 21 and over to go in there. You go in there, you get your weed, you come out, you get high, everything's good, right? Why can't they do that with vape shops?
Well, we do in Ontario.
I'm kind of talking about here. I'm kind of talking about here in the United States, right? But you're saying that you do in Ontario. All right.
We do in Ontario. So Ontario, we're allowed to show the products. We're allowed to talk about the products. We fought our asses off in Ontario to have access at specialty vape shops. We have to cover our windows. We do all that. We are a 19 plus because our laws are 19 here. You check ID. If they look under 25, you can't service them. However, during COVID, I got tested 0 times. No shop got tested. However, shit happens, whatever. What I'm trying to say is we have those in place on a provincial level, but because now we're looking at the federal level, the government doesn't want to take on that role like they've done with cannabis and mandate the provinces to create specialty vape shops and have small limited amount access at the convenience stores. And I know not everyone agrees with me on this, but my goal is, where's the best place to help someone stop smoking? Where they're buying their cigarettes. And I truly believe, and I've written this in every single submission that I've sent, is that it should be mandatory and the law that cigarette companies write something in their cigarettes, that little piece of paper you pull out, that talks about vaping. Doesn't sell them a vaping product, but tells them that vaping is an alternative to smoking. I don't care how light you want to do, make that comment when we start. That is what I totally 100% believe that the government should be doing.
Right. So, I mean, look at what you're saying, right? So you guys made the changes to the shops. You can't see inside the shops. You guys did all the changes to the labels. You guys followed all the rules. You guys stepped up, right? You changed the bottles. You're 21 and over in the shops. And you know, you said before, right? What they're doing and what they're saying has nothing to do with saving the children. Why they're doing it, right? So you've done everything right. You've done everything that they've asked, and they're still coming after you. Why?
Because, and I got this from Dr. Chris Lalonde, who's the academic advisor for the Rights for Vapers, and he's hilarious on Twitter. You can find him at Lalonde on Twitter. However, as he said, the body part organizations have an issue. The body part organizations are fighting back. They're creating a narrative. When our national broadcaster, and I know you guys, like, this is weird for, if you guys are from the States, you might not understand a national broadcaster, but our government pays for the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. So that's our national broadcaster, allowed the health promoter from the Heart and Stroke Association to go on radio without any corrections to say that she knows for a fact that e-liquid companies add something to create combustion in their e-liquid. This is our national broadcaster. This is a lady who calls herself a health promoter. You have the Cancer Society. Rod Cunningham, who's the president of the Cancer Society here in Canada. Does anyone find this strange that I know who these people are? Who has gone out and like pretty much like will lie about vaping. You have Dr. Andrew Pite, who has the largest smoking cessation program in Canada that has nothing to do with vaping, and holding conferences that systemically exclude anyone in the vaping industry. We have to go crash the conference, and what does he do in retaliation? He refers to us as pigs and trolls because we fought our way to have that. And this is my greatest achievement, is being called a pig by someone who received the Order of Canada medal, one of the highest recognitions. And so they have millions and millions of dollars. And I know Bloomberg's money is seeping into Canada very quickly. So,
before I started in the vape game, right, I would have never thought, like, you know, the shit that goes on with the government is going on, because I didn't know it. I wasn't involved with it. It wasn't in my face. It's in my face now. So, you know, behind the scenes, like, Big Tobacco was going to the government. Hey, look, we'll give you this much money, make the vaping go away, and I mean, that's right. That's kind of what
Big Pharma. They're both in it together. They both have the most to lose.
Right. Yeah, and Big Pharma, you're absolutely right. And you, once again, you know, I've used this before. What would happen if hold on a second. There's a prop that I need here. In this bottle of watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line, I had to cure cancer right in there, right in that bottle. Right there. That can cure cancer, right? What if I had that and it went out on the market tomorrow? What would happen?
Well, you can say, in Canada, first of all, you could never say it can cure cancer. You get arrested.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying, okay, well, I'm not saying I do have, this is a hypothetical. What if, right? I mean, think it would be a collapse. There would be a medical collapse. Think about all the organizations, all the buildings, all the hospitals, all the doctors, the amount of money that would be lost because of, I got the cure right there, right? It would be a complete and total collapse. And again, first of all, I truly believe the government really, and the public in general, kind of don't give a shit about us, right? Kind of really don't care about us. We're dirty smokers, whether we be vapers or still smokers. We're all still dirty smokers. Eventually, we're going to die and go away. I truly believe that is how they feel about us, right?
But we're not. Suck money out of us while we're dying.
Yes. Yeah, and you know what? If they get cancer, we make a buck, right? Not only we make a buck on the cigarette sale, and now we make a buck on them being in the hospital too. That's not a bad deal, right? Like, I hate to be that cynical, right? But I kind of think that that's where we are, and that's what's going on.
But that's your lived perspective. This is what people don't understand. As a former smoker, you lived being marginalized, being judged. What other addiction in this whole entire world do we see kids shaming adults for? If a child went up to a smoker and said, "You smell," he would be congratulated. If a child went up to someone who's suffering from an eating disorder and said, "You're a fat slob," he would be they would be reprimanded. It is the only addiction that we teach our children shame. We teach our children disobedience. We teach our children not to respect. So what happens is we have no empathy for the smoker. And when we have no empathy, we have no care. And we're just starting to be enlightened by this. We're starting, like, you're there. You're there. Like, you're like there. I'm there. Lots of people are there. We just need to get more people there, because the more we speak up, that is the only way change will happen. Safe injection sites is the best example. The government just didn't turn around and say, okay, you guys can inject safely. They fought their asses off for that privilege.
Yeah.
They fought, and it's not a privilege, it's for that charter right. Like for us in Canada, it is a charter right for harm reduction. It went to the courts and it won. We have the right to life and liberty. We have the right to make our own health choices, but not if we're smokers. For some reason, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms does not include the smoker. And we are going to fight that if it takes that way, if it goes that way.
You know, I hope you win. Of course I hope you win. Why would I not hope you win? And you know, you've got a really loud voice, Maria, and I know you're doing some things that we're going to get to rights for vapors here in a little bit, and what you have planned, what's coming up, like what can people do? We're going to find out what people can do up in Canada anyway. I just want to go through a couple things here that I got from Bill. Right here. If Canada drops a countrywide flavor ban, you bet your ass the U.S. won't be far behind. Big Pharma runs both Canada and the U.S. legislative branches. Yeah, I would not be surprised. But we got to get past the you have to wear a mask. You don't have to wear a mask. You should wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Kids wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. Wear a mask in school. Don't wear a mask in school. Wear a mask if you're vaccinated. Wear a mask if you're not vaccinated. Wear one mask. Wear two masks. Wear three masks. Once we get past the masks, they'll need to go to something else, and then it'll probably be vaping. Okay. So, but we got to get past the masks first.
Well, we've already gone past the masks. We blame vaping for our slow response to COVID.
Oh,
and we're
okay.
already seeing legislation being passed.
Oh, okay.
Canada's kind of ahead of that. We've all,
okay.
We're past the masks.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, we're still not past masks. Okay.
Our government has agreed on the masks. People haven't, but our government has.
Vapor Owl says, are you allowed hats and merch, I guess, for vaping products? Are you allowed hats and merch and anything like that? Can you have a hat with your shop's name on it?
Yeah, I can. I don't know if I'm allowed to give it away, though. I can sell it in my store as long as so the law for a store in Ontario is 85% of my products need to be vaping products. The other 15% need to be branded products. So if I was selling a bag of potato chips inside of my store, I'd have to have my business name on those potato chips.
Yeah. And I heard...
it's okay. It's a concession. I'm okay with that. I have an issue with frosting out my windows. So that's just me. That's like the sword that I wanted to fall on. I don't believe that our windows should be frosted.
Absolutely, they should not be frosted.
Exactly. I'm not selling porn. I'm saving lives.
There's no porn in your shop at all?
None. But, as you said, someone in the comments...
I think in that vape shop that I went to today, there might have been porn there as well. I didn't stay... Yeah, I would like that, but not not in a vape shop, right?
I'll have to say something is that because I kind of just didn't cover my windows till last week. We did our front door windows, like the whole thing, all the way up, like 10 feet up. And in the last 12 days since we did it, we've had more children try and walk into our shop than before. Because no one knows what it is.
But okay, what you just said is so interesting, right? Because That's how kids work. And that is how, in the United States, we are advertising to the children, right? Because when we say, kids, you can't do it, stop doing it. Kids, you shouldn't do that. Kids, look the other way. Kids are going to go, what do I not have to do? What should I not do? And let me try it, right? What we should be doing is making it as cool as possible for like old adults. Just find like grannies who vape and just make them the poster child of vaping, and the kids are going to look at that and go, I don't want to do what granny's doing, right? But we advertise to the kids when you say don't do it. You know, it's like if parents are like really secretive about like alcohol with their kids, like your kid's interested, like, having a wine, you give the kid a sip of wine. Oh, now I know what it's like, you know, and it's not a big mystery, and it's not a big, but this is what's happening is we advertise to the kids by the anti-advertising to the kids. And what you said is the same thing, right? Kids are more interested in it now that you hid it from them. What are you hiding from me? I need to investigate. I need to see what's going on behind that frosted window, right?
Yeah, and adults too. And they have a heart attack when they walk in because they don't know what they're expecting, which is crazy. Thomas Christoph, who I completely respect his brain and everything he knows about vaping in Canada, did correct me. Federal promotion regulations, no vaping branded products. So whoever asked that question, no vaping branded products. I'm going to trust Thomas because he knows that.
I saw that. I was going to bring that up. Thomas does know his stuff. Thomas still a guy that's very, very into converting smokers, running a good shop there. And I always appreciate everything that Thomas has to say. And you know what? I miss Thomas because Thomas was one of those guys, like when I would do like shows in Canada or everything, he was one of my safe zones, right? He's like, I could go sit with him and hang out with him and talk for a little while if I wanted to get away from people. So I miss you, brother, and hopefully we'll be back soon enough. I think they opened up the borders again, didn't they? Like you can actually
you guys can come to us. We can't come to you.
I don't want you here anyway.
Problems.
All right. Maybe it's time to get to this now, because one of these questions was from Jimmy James. I am very curious as to where and when and what we can do to help in Ottawa on August 20th, 21st. So you got some stuff going on, right?
Yes. Okay, so here it is. I had a dream. Sorry.
Hey, wait, before you go any further, I want to say, because Army Man Brad said something very nice here. Let me see if I can. He said something about, he said, Phil's doing a great job. 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗹 will comment later. I'm doing a great, thank you, man. Thank you.
Hey, I'm having a blast. I think you're making me, I love talking with you. I love your passion. I love that you're not holding back. And I appreciate that you are receptive to what I'm saying. You are such a great person to talk with. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you know what? And I love you too. I love the fact that you're here. I love the fact that you're passionate. And I love the fact that you're fighting. You're fighting for this industry up there. When so much is stacked against you. But what's going on? What are you doing? Okay, how are you going to fight it? And what can people do?
Okay, so here's the thing. We've gotten a 36-foot bus. If you go to my Facebook page, 𝗵𝗶𝗶𝗹 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗎, there's only one of me. You can see the bus, or if you go on the Rights for Vapers Facebook page, you can see the bus. We're taking that bus and we are going to every single swing riding. What that means in Canadian politics is a riding that can either go to any political party. Those people there tend to listen a little bit more because they're fearful. Some of them won the last election by like 20 votes. And we are going to have mini rallies at shops across Quebec and Ontario.
Okay, let's time out. Okay, because you just put a whole bunch of stuff out there all at once, and I want to slow down. I want to make sure everybody's got what you're talking about. Okay, so the first thing you said was rights for vapers.
Vapers, yeah.
Rights for vapers.
RIGHTF.
So let's go over there and let's talk about what is rights for vapers.
Rights for Vapers is exactly what it sounds like. It's a movement that has transpired into creating platforms and giving opportunities for people to speak up, users of vaping products, opportunities to speak up. It all started with the idea and the concept that we need a study. We need a survey. We need something to show about flavors. And that's what we did. We have the largest flavor survey and data set right now in Canada. I think we have over 5,600 respondents. And you can see that flavors are important. We've started, we send out press releases. We speak up. We have an incredible Twitter feed. And the thing that we've had in my dream was to go across this country and meet people who vape.
Okay,
And-
so now we're going to talk about the Vape Tour,
Yes.
right? So the Vape Tour is something that Rights for Vapers is doing.
In conjunction with CDVQ, the coalition. Oh my God, guys, I always get it wrong. It's the French, it's the French consumer advocacy group, CDVQ, and you can find them on Facebook.
Yeah, I would pronounce that, but I'm Coalition des Droits des Vapeurs
Vapers
du Québec.
du Quebec.
How's that?
Means-
Not bad.
yeah. It's a coalition for the rights of vapers in Quebec. We're joining forces because we do live in a bilingual country, and it's important that people have access to speaking up and out in the language that they choose, to have the information available to them in both languages, and to have people who are leading this and in both languages. So it's Christina Xidous, another Greek. We're taking over the Greeks and vaping. She is going to be joining us on tour, and we are starting our tour in Ottawa with a press conference and then doing a march and a rally. We really want to kick this off in front of the CBC building. Remember, guys, I was talking about the Canadian broadcaster. In my humble opinion, this flavor ban started taking fruition when CBC did their Vape Fail series. It was like media combat. Like, they were just shooting us every chance that they can get. They were not fact checking. We were not given opportunities to share a balanced perspective, because I have a background in media. I'm a graduate from radio and television here in Ontario. I have worked as a reporter, and one of the key things I was taught was always tell both sides of the story. There is no room for editorialization when it comes to news. This was a complete editorialization. Again, our national broadcaster, I'm not going to make the connection. I do feel that that was when the end started, it started for the flavor ban, and that was maybe over 2 years ago. We are going to launch with a press conference in front of the CBC building. We'd love to get as many people out there. If you are from the Ottawa area, we would like you to step up and speak up at the press conference.
Okay. So let's talk about that. The press conference. That's how we're kicking off this tour.
Yep.
Right. We're gonna kick it off with a press conference. Let's go over to that Facebook page right there. Okay. Now, by the way, you guys are seeing a whole lot of information I'm putting up. I'm putting up Facebook groups. I'm putting up websites. I'm putting up little video clips. Everything that you see. If you want to get involved with this, if you want to help out our friends in Canada, if you are in Canada, right? And I know that some of you are watching from Canada, and you're very, very impressed with my French accent right now, as you should be. All of the links for everything that we're talking about tonight are going to be on tasteyourjuice.com tomorrow with the replay post, okay? So you don't have to write anything down. Everything is going to be right there for you. Okay, Maria, go ahead. Talk about the press conference first.
So we're having this press conference. We want to launch it. We're doing it in front of the CBC building. We figured they probably won't show up at a press conference, so why don't we just have it there for them and make it easy for them? We will be there at, I believe this one starts at 1 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken.
It's on the screen. 1 p.m., yes.
1 p.m. And it is on Spark Street, which is a walking area there. If you would like to speak, what we're looking for is some people to share what will happen if the flavor ban goes through. We want to hear those voices. reach out to us either through our Facebook page or info@rightsforvapers.com. We would love to have you share your story during that time. So that is the first thing that we are doing on the 20th of August. We are going to be recording everything. So if you can't be there, one of the other key things is sharing the clips on social media, not to the vape groups, but to those community groups, to, if you are in, like, for example, I live in Cobourg. I'm in a group called Living Loving Cobourg. I'm going to share that shit in there because it affects me. And hopefully you can share it. Like if you live in Kamloops and you're in a group called Living Loving Kamloops, you can share it in that group. What we want to do is get this out there. You can tag news sources. You can follow us on Twitter. We don't have Instagram because we find that that's geared more towards kids. We're trying to avoid that. Our two main sources are Twitter and Facebook. So share our clips if you can't come. But if you are in Ottawa and can spare an hour, we've made sure that these are during the afternoon. We made sure that the rally was on a Saturday later in the day. So people within like a 200-kilometer, I don't know how many kilometers are in a mile. So guys, I can't convert to imperial. Imperial, I'm metric. So we want to get as many people out there. And also, people need COVID. Rooms are cheap. So if you can make it out, that would be great. Even making it out for a day. I've done the Ottawa trip from Toronto for the day before. And there are some buses coming out of Montreal for the Saturday event, which we'll get into next.
Yes, and by the way, off of the top of my head, I do believe that that 1 mile equals 1.60934 off the top of my head, kilometers. Okay.
I don't know. I get so confused. The one thing I hate about driving in the United States is when it says it's 60 miles away. I feel like 60 kilometers, and I know that that's like 20 minutes. And
see, and when I'm in Canada and I look down at the speedometer, I think I'm going like light speed. All right. So that's the press conference. That's the kickoff, right?
That's the kickoff.
And now we start the tour.
No, we're going to do our rally. We're still in Ottawa. Okay.
So after the press conference, we're going to the rally.
The next day. Yeah, Saturday at 2 p.m. We are all meeting at the corner of Queen and Bank. There's
I don't have a Facebook page for that.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, the March and Rally. Okay, yes, I do. Rally. There it is.
So we need as many people as possible to say that they're going. Ottawa Police are looking at this page to get us more support. So the larger the number, the higher amount of support what we'll have, which is really important just because they'll help block off the roads. We just went live, so don't look at how many people have started responding. We just literally went live and did a soft launch yesterday. Our goal is to get as many people as possible. I'm not going to put a number on it. Guys, every voice matters. So if you are there, you matter just as much as the other 500 people that are there. And if you are not there, you are missed. I want everyone to know that. Every person that chooses not to attend because it's not going to matter, it is going to matter. You are as valuable as the next person. And I want everyone to remember that. It's not about quantity. It's about the quality. It's about one. One person can make the difference. And that's all we're asking you to do is show up one at a time. And as one at a time, our army, our support builds. So don't think that you're not valued or you're not needed. You are.
Let me make a comment here. Go if you can. I understand that one voice is good. Many voices are better. This is somebody. It's coming from somebody who went to the Washington rally. I didn't go to the first one because we had some commitments overseas, but I did go to the second one. And I saw, it was kind of in the middle of COVID. I understand that, but I saw a really poor turnout, and that's sad. That's sad when you see people fighting. The guys that put the event together. Matt, and I'm going to forget names because I just can't remember shit anymore. They all did such a good job. They did such a good job at organizing the thing, at putting the thing together, and there wasn't support. There wasn't support from Vapers. So, let's say a news crew is walking on by, and they're not even going to turn the cameras on for 20 people standing out in a field talking to each other. They're not. You're not going to get the coverage that you need to get. But when you get more people, when you get bodies, then it makes a difference. Then people raise their eyebrows. Then news cameras go on. So you need to do this. Take it from me. You need to do this if you can, if you have the ability. And again, I know you get the Delta variant going on. I wish this whole COVID thing would just go away. Go away. Enough. I'm sick of it. Oh, and by the way, I got the vaccination, and then just to be sure, I got COVID after the vaccination, because I really wanted to make sure that I didn't get it again.
Just a little thing is that guys, we are sending out press releases. We are stepping up. This is not something that we have support from people in this industry that are helping support not only with time, but with money to make sure that this is done. We don't have the money that the Heart and Stroke Association has, but we have the passion in droves. So I understand someone said it's 403 kilometers away from Toronto. We're trying to do it as later on in the afternoon. If I could pay for everybody's room, I would. I just don't have that kind of money myself. We are looking at getting buses from the Toronto area. Again, with COVID rules, we're trying to find a bus company that doesn't make you be in a bubble. But keep your eyes out. We can carpool. We can do things. Again, we're trying to do our best to get as many people out there. I just want to say is that this time we're in the sunshine. If anybody remembers the protests we've done in Ontario, where we've had up to 700 people show up. And I can tell you this, there were people from Ottawa there and right across the province. And they showed up in the cold. And if you can come out for the Saturday, I ask you to do it. And I know Toronto is a far drive, but it's going to be a fucking further drive if you have to go to Europe to pick up your vape stuff.
Yeah, you can't come to the U.S. because we're getting banned left and right. So, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I forgot. It's right behind me. The UVA, United Vapers Alliance. Those are the guys that set up the Washington rally, and they did a great job.
Oh,
and
wait.
I don't think they got enough credit for it.
I just want to comment on Red Vape's thing. They won't let people with a felony record in Canada. They're kind of really strict on that. And you have to be double vaxxed. And Montreal is a 2-hour drive. And there are buses for Montreal. You will be getting a message to show about that. And I think it's wrong that people who have a felony record, because I know in the United States, you guys get in trouble for the most bullshit shit.
And by the way, Byron, I completely agree with you. And Maria, maybe you should think about this. A giant inflatable 𝗶𝗶𝗀 about 30 to 40 feet tall. We can convert that to metric. Possibly holding a bottle of watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. This whole thing right here, just a giant 40-foot inflatable. Because that's what they did when we were in Washington. When I was doing a rally in Florida. They were doing something right next to us, or no, maybe it was Washington, and they had this giant blow up baby Trump, and the cameras went on that. So clearly, a giant blow up 𝗶𝗶𝗀 might get you a little bit more.
You guys send it over. Send it over. I'm blowing it up. I've got a pump. I'll just add that to my list.
All right, so
we have this. This is are sort of we are going out there with a bang. We are taking this energy with us, and we're heading up to do the mini rallies at the shops on the list. Also, if it means anything to anybody, we'll have buttons and t-shirts and a few hats if they come from the printers on time, and some stickers. And we're also going to encourage everybody to make a submission to Health Canada on this flavor ban. We've created a tool. I forgot to talk about that, Phil, but we'll talk about that after.
Okay, and you hear that? Team Free Shit. We got stuff for you. Okay, so make sure you go. Hey, anything to entice people, right? Anything to get them there. Get bodies there. Okay, so we've done the press conference. We've done the rally. and then we actually kick off the tour.
Yes, and we head off to Chicoutimi, Quebec, our first stop.
Charcuterie?
Chicoutimi.
Chicoutimi.
Chicoutimi. I love the name. Like, best place to Chicoutimi. Like, you can't get any more prim and proper than Chicoutimi, Quebec.
You really can't. So now, is it? Are you asking people to go to this thing? Are you busing people to this thing? How does this work? How does the tour work?
So the tour is, we're working with local vape shops that are in the riding. So guys, I'm sorry, I'm speaking Canadian politics. So the riding is like sort of the constituency. I don't know. How do you guys vote for someone? Is it like a riding, or what is it called?
How do we vote for what?
Like, based on your address, you have a representative in government. So like, what is that kind of? Anyway.
Like a write-in ballot? I don't know. I go to the place. I go and vote. So
it's a riding. So if you live within a certain geographical area, this person is your member of parliament. So we're working with shops in each member of parliament, and we're having a 2-hour event. So we're going to roll up there. We're going to have our cameras rolling. We're going to invite the member of parliament, so your representative in government, to come in and answer questions about this flavor ban. They're going to know about this. If they do not show up, we are going to pre-record questions for them and share them all on Twitter, on our social media feed. The other thing we are going to do, because during the first half of the trip, is we will have iPads and computers set up, and we will walk you through this tool, and it's called saveflavors.ca. If you could pull it up, Phil, I'm so sorry. I should have told you this before.
Okay. I got you.
If you can spell flavors with the U, the Canadian spelling, .ca. The Canadian government wants to hear our voices. So if anybody was here during the first half, remember those 24,000 postcards that they excluded because, they were all the same? We, these incredible smart people, I'm going to give them shout outs. Derek.
Did you say safeflavors.ca?
SAVE.
Oh, save. Okay. Let me try that. Go ahead.
They created this incredible tool, which is a guided, it prompts you to answer a bunch of questions, which will create a unique submission to Health Canada on your behalf. Also, your member of parliament will get a copy of it. So here's that. We have 2 options. One is the quick options, which we don't have recommended, but we have the recommended one, which should take about 20 to 30 minutes, but it will ask you questions and it will guide you through why flavors are important to you. And the more detailed you get, and the more you put in about who you are and why they're important, hopefully the people that are reading these will, it'll make a difference. Unique submissions are so key. Right now, if you scroll down, Phil, you can see how many people. I think we're over 5,000. 5,800. I can't see. It's a little blurry. Oh my God, I'm old.
5,846.
Yeah. So these are unique submissions. A lot of people. So Christina Xidus, David Levesque, and Derek Young, great people in our industry, took the time and built the code and created this. And you can see, and if you go right up north, you can see that people that live, and this is why access is important. You see people that live in very remote parts. We're not like the United States. We don't have condensed areas right across our province, our country. We have smaller communities that have like 1,000 people, and then the next they can only get there by plane. So we need to make sure that everybody has access to vaping products if they make that choice. But also we want them to have access to vaping products with responsible people. So that
I feel bad for this. I feel bad for this person all the way up here.
That's our Nunavut guy.
Who's this guy?
Girl. They're from Nunavut. Nunavut are their biggest our indigenous Nunavut. I can't even say things. They're from Nunavut. If I want to get them talking, if they can hear this, email me. I want to meet you because it never fails. This person from Nunavut, I don't know who they are, but they always show up in the same place on the map. And thank you, because you are alone up there. Your government has let you down, and they'd rather their population continue to smoke, which is really sad.
It's really sad. It really is. It's got to be cold up there by then, no?
It is very cold. It's like permafrost.
Yeah.
And they don't have trees that are very tall. Like it's above the tree line.
I'm going to go open up a vape shop up there just for that one person.
Well, you can't sell much. You can only sell a tobacco product.
Oh, shit.
Or if the laws pass in Canada, the government will tell you what molecules you're allowed to use and help you create. We got to go there. I think we got to go there.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So yeah, we talked about, we covered everything. So we covered the rally, we covered the news conference, we covered what's going to happen with this tour. Now I'm assuming that on rights for Vapers that like all the tour dates are going to be here. So if I go to this page right now, it looks like nothing's really filled. Oh no, we do have things filled in here.
Dates, and they're going to start getting filled with links to where they're happening and everything.
Right, and the time and location, all of this stuff is going to start filling in right as we go. And here's your opportunity. If you can't make it to the rally, which I hope you do, you go to one of these tour dates and speak your mind and tell people why flavors are so important to you. All right.
Okay. So here's the thing: is that our government, Health Canada, our bureaucrats, not only told us we are going to ban all flavors and you can only have mint, menthol, and tobacco and flavorless. They decided to take it one step further. They said, here are the 40-something ingredients. And guys, do not quote me on numbers because this is just information that I am starting to get. But I really think if this doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what else will get your blood boiling as a Canadian.
Here it comes. This is the bombshell. This is what we were talking about at the beginning of the show when I was talking about the TPD and how the government gets involved and they wind up making things less safe. This is the news that Maria has found out, the research that she's done. She's going to present it for you guys right now.
Now, I didn't do any of these research because I'm not a scientist, but there is a research project going on, and there's multiple of these research going on and looking at the ingredients list that Health Canada said, this is what you're allowed in a vaping product. So let's be clear. They said we're allowed tobacco, but we are not allowed the tobacco from a certain company. It needs to be based on what Health Canada says. These are the ingredients that you can use, and they break it down in like approved molecules. So the thing is that, okay, I don't know how to say this. So the thing is they didn't look at the safety of these approved molecules. They didn't go further in and say, whatever. I feel like they grabbed a hat and just pulled out the molecule list. Okay, here are all the tobacco molecules. Let's just pull them out. So first of all, 2 of them taste like fish between the 80-something ingredients. So they have a fishy taste to them. So that's one thing. Okay, so we don't use that. They're finding that a number of these ingredients are listing carcinogenics. They are, I don't have the full amount of numbers right now, and this will all start getting, I'm sure, out there sooner than later. So Health Canada has taken, so you have to remember, we went from an industry that was pushing to create a safer product. And I remember this going to all these shows where, yeah, you know what, what was that show, ECC? There was all this crazy shit going on at ECC. But underneath that, you were seeing manufacturers creating a cleaner nicotine. You were seeing organizations doing testing to avoid diacetyl. I can never say that word. Did I get that one right?
Diacetyl, good enough. Really, either way, yeah.
We were doing all that as an industry. And now Health Canada turns around and haphazardly hands us ingredients that is going to, if used, and I can't picture the people who make our e-liquid in Canada, our manufacturers, to put their customers, their people, themselves at risk, use ingredients that no one did their due diligence on to make sure that they were free of all the ingredients that can harm us. So we are going from creating a product that is safer, 95% safer, to a product that is going to lose that safeness because Health Canada has chosen not to do their due diligence and give us ingredients that can cause harm. And like, you know, it's fucking disgusting. It is like absolutely fucking disgusting that they want to regulate us to the point of, it's as if the Cancer Society and all our organ people that are saying vaping causes cancer, Health Canada said, well, let's do the reverse study. Let's make that true.
This is really interesting. Okay, it's interesting for several reasons, and I just want to point out that the fish molecule is not used in watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. Just want to put that out there. What's interesting about this is number one, them giving you this list of molecules, and for those of you who don't understand, when we went to France, we showed you flavors come together from molecules, right? Because like Flavor R and I'm not going to remember the one in France. I'll remember in a second. That's how they create their flavors. It's not like they squeeze a strawberry, right? They use individual molecules to put these molecules together, and they come up with something that tastes like strawberry. So what your government is telling you, you can only use these molecules, but we really didn't test the molecules, and some of these molecules have cancer-causing properties, right? I mean, that's what you're saying. That's what the government has said, right? These are what you got to use, but they didn't do their due diligence, and some of them are dangerous, right?
Yep.
But what I'm really curious about is, I know that like, and Sean, if Sean is watching like behind the scenes, maybe he could jump on and maybe answer this question if he's here. I thought Sean was working very, very close with like the Canadian government to define the molecules that were safe to use in electronic cigarettes. So when I hear this news from you, I'm very, very surprised. And I don't know if there's drama there, if how you feel about Sean. I don't know, right?
No.
Okay.
I have no.
Because you never know. You never know. There's a lot of drama everywhere in vaping. So.
Oh my God. You know what? Here's the thing is that I can have drama after, but right now, like literally we're organizing to do a screening of You Don't Know Nicotine during the tour at Sean's place.
Oh yeah, and you're right. At some point, when it's like us or them, you all got to get together. Let's put our differences aside and let's fight this as a team. Very, very important, right? Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. Alpha Liquid. Alpha Liquid was the name of the company that we visited in France, and we saw molecules come together to create flavors. Go ahead.
Hold on. Someone said, I have a question. Is this movement organization supported by the CVA?
Yeah, I was gonna. Go ahead.
I don't know what you mean by divine supported. They support our efforts with sharing the information with shops. This movement is really for consumers. And I don't know if you mean CVA. Like, I don't understand this question. I just feel like it's a little bit loaded. They're not giving money as CVA, but they are supporting it. Of course, we all have the same goal. We have decided, like, there is, like, I just want everyone to be clear. Animosity and division is not based on journey. It's based on goal. CVA's goal is to stop the flavor ban. VITA's goal is to stop the flavor ban. Rights for Vapers, CDVQ, every single consumer, every single shop, our goal is to stop the flavor ban. How we're going to get there does not create animosity. Animosity is created by having a different goal. Now, if someone wanted not to stop, like, you know, have a half flavor ban, that's a whole different story. But we are all in agreement. We need to stop this, and for this not to see CG2. CG2 is the death of this industry.
Right. So I think the answer to Pam's question is basically yes. I mean, it doesn't sound like CVA is behind or the person, the group that's organizing this, but they're definitely supporting it, right?
Yeah. Everybody,
everybody's supporting it, as they should.
Everybody's effort.
Thomas said something interesting here, is that after you use their approved fish flavors and carcinogenic compounds and molecules, then there's going to be a sensory standard. So somebody smells it and tastes it, and if it's good, if it's pleasant, it's out.
Yeah. So there was a court case just recently in Prince Edward PEI where someone was fined, even though the product said was a tobacco product. They felt that it smelt like a non-tobacco product and they were fined. He did take it to court, but we don't know if the judge actually smelt it or just took the words. So now there will be job postings in Canada for sensory attributes. I really don't know why we're spending all this money to smell shit when we could be spending money enforcing access to minors. How about we have fine someone on a federal level for selling a tobacco product to a minor? We don't have that. Like, it's just simple as that. Like, they're literally going to train people on how to smell, which I think is fucking ridiculous because we all know what smells does not taste the same as what it smells like.
Hey,
so
you
now
know
are
what?
they going to force people to vape?
Maria, come on. Somebody's got to justify their existence out there. Come on now.
Hello, what is your job? I am a sensory tobacco enforcement officer. I seek out sweet smelling flavors to find vape shops. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, I just.
Yeah, I know. Really, when you start delving into this, none of it makes any sense. Like, why do we have to fight so goddamn hard to not die of cancer as an adult? Why? So I like strawberry. Well, please let me vape my strawberry and leave me alone and do what is required to keep it out of the hands of children, like you do for marijuana, like you do for alcohol, like you do for firearms, like you do for countless other things. Why can't you just do that and leave our little thing that makes us happy and makes us not smoke anymore and gives us tobacco harm reduction and maybe helps us not die of cancer? Why can't you leave that alone for adults, please?
Because who are they going to marginalize? Who are they going to turn around and have as a reason to feel better? At least I'm not a fucking smoker. At least they have to justify their ignorance. They have to justify their existence. Here's an example. Like, look, I'm just going to share this with you because I put it on TikTok because it pissed me off. However, I got in trouble. I got my first inspection in 2 years, and I got in trouble because I had a sign in my window that said vaping isn't smoking. I was threatened to be fined because I was promoting my business, because technically I can't tell anybody what I sell inside of my shop in my windows. However, putting up a sign that says vaping isn't smoking and sharing petitions and sharing that in my window is absolutely illegal, and I was forced to take them down. This is the world we live in, where we can't encourage people to know the laws. We have politicians who are, so another story, we have Pam, the politician, out in Oakville, Ontario, and she's a federal member of parliament. And if you live in Pam's riding, don't vote for Pam. Pam is on the anti-vaping wagon because a 10-year-old had a pack of Juul pod a day addiction. Now, what did Pam do? Pam did what any sane person would do. She took that child and made him a poster child for the anti-vaping campaign. No time did Pam say, what the fuck? How does a 10-year-old have that disposable income and that much free time? Perhaps we need to talk to the parents and see what is really going on here and help them parent their child. But no, you know what? The vaping industry was to blame. We were all to blame because a 10-year-old, I mean, I can't afford a 4-pack of Juul pods a day. And I'm a grown-ass adult. I really don't know how much money a 10-year-old has and how much free time they have to vape all that. So, you know what? It's never a win.
You know, what Bill just sent me this Stratford store fined for breaching PEI's new ban on flavored vape products. Oh, GrowDaddy. I wonder what they're doing in that store. GrowDaddy. But
literally, it was a sensory attributes. I just found that one so fascinating. I was like, wow, there we go. Now we're going to see they're testing it in PEI. And the sad part is one of the politicians that voted for this ban regrets it. Regrets the fact that he removed access to harm reduction. Too late. He can't do anything about it. but he regrets it. How good is his regret?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is your, oh, I'm sorry now going to do to the people that are going to return to smoking? And you know what? They're not going to die. They're going to suffer to death. That's the problem, is that we keep saying vaping saves lives. It saves lives, not because we're all going to die, but we don't have to die with a cough and an emphysema, and we don't have to die with an oxygen tank strapped to us. Just because we like our nicotine, or our body needs the nicotine, or we just choose to enjoy nicotine as our drug of choice. Like, we found a safer way all my life. Guys, I'm 49. I mean, I think we're from the same generation. Phil, you were told you're not smoking for the smoke. You're not smoking for the cancer. If only you could find a way to get it. Oh, try this patch. Try this gum. But, oh, try vaping. Oh, well, we didn't invent it. We can't control the patent, so we can't make money. Bye-bye.
Yeah, a couple things that you said there. I mean, we can't do a lot of that stuff either in vape shops. Like, we can't use the word quit, right? We can't make the claim that vaping is safer than smoking. How much that's enforced, I don't know. But you think about that. We can't say in a vape shop or advertise that vaping is safer than smoking. If vaping was 1% safer than smoking, right? We can't say that. But vaping is not 1% safer than smoking. We know from the Royal College of Physicians, who updates that number, by the way. I think it's still at 95%. 95% safer than smoking. We can't say it.
And a seatbelt.
Because they're hiding. They're hiding the truth from you. They're hiding the truth from you.
Well,
they don't want you to know.
Just so you know, one of my anti-vaping people, because you know what? Here's the thing, guys. You can't ignore the anti-vaping people. I call them up, and I call them up until they call me back. Because you got to know what the other people think, and they got to know you, because they've got to put a face to the people they're marginalizing. So I choose to be that face. So if someone says something that is wrong, call them up, leave them a message. Call them up every other day. I'm on my 3rd month of calling up someone from the Heart and Stroke Association. They'll eventually call me back to tell me to stop calling them, but I've put a face, they have a face to there. So anyways, someone told me that people in North America are different than people in England.
Well, yeah, our lungs are much. We've talked about that. Our lungs are much different than over the pond, across the pond. You don't know that? Very different. Biology is completely different. Once you go over there, everything changes. Lungs.
But I'm like, I did my DNA thing. I'm like 97% European. Do I not count?
Nope.
I've got like 0 white people in me.
You know, this is something else that I question, Maria. What's happened in society? Lately, it seems like the squeaky wheel, no matter how much they are in the minority, they get the most attention and they get the most action and they get things done. Why do they get things done so well? When they're just this noisy, annoying minority group that just makes all this noise, and they get the action, they get things done. Is it because maybe the majority is maybe it's we're afraid to be canceled? Maybe we're afraid to speak up. Maybe we just don't give a shit and we're lazy. You start to wonder, right? What's really going on here, and why continuously? Like, you just hear like all the news story, a lot of the news stuff. It's like. It's about this tiny little group of people, but they're just making so much noise, and maybe just the rest of the world is complacent. Maybe the majority is complacent. What do you think? What do you think's going on?
Are you talking about the noise for anti-vaping?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other directions I can go there, but I'll just keep it with vaping right now.
Okay. I think they've got the perfect poster child. They've got a child. You know, and that's the thing, is that as you grow older, you're less heard. And that's something that someone once told me. You have to fight for your voice. You have to fight to be heard. The younger you are, the less the less space you need to take up to be seen. That is why it is so important. And then just add an addiction, add an addiction that has been treated by shame for decades. You start to have to be louder to take up that same space. So what I'm saying is that, and you're right, but I'm just saying is that don't make an excuse to think that there'll be enough people at the rally or at any event. Just show up.
Yeah. And hey, Army man Brad, look, I know this is all about the Benjamins. You know, I know. But it does. This seems to be the trend lately, is that, you know, just the people that make the most noise win. Like gangs, you know, I mean, we see this on Twitter too, this happening, like these gangs go after people, and, you know, it's just that small little gang could get somebody fired, it could make people lose their jobs. And it's just crazy society that we're living in now. Really, really odd, really strange.
It is odd, but you know what, guys, we need to stop making excuses of why we can't do things. We need to stop making excuses of why we're being treated like that. We need to continue to take control of the narrative. No one can tell your story better than you. I cannot tell your story.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here, Maria, with you, okay?
Go for it.
All right. So I'm not sure who's dinging you. I'm sure somebody's dinging you there.
Yeah, someone just said I did very well tonight.
You're doing fantastic tonight. But I want to play devil's advocate.
Okay, go for it.
In the United States, we've done everything by the book. We've had groups, we've had organizations, we've done lawsuits, we've had rallies, we've spoken, we've had movies. Nothing has made a fucking difference in how they treat us in this industry. What's next? What do we do? What do we do? If we want to continue to vape and have our flavors and continue to have the options and choices available to us, right, that made this industry what it is, because that's what made it grow. That's what made it thrive, was the fact that if you wanted a pink device and I wanted a blue device, we could get that. The fact that if you wanted a strawberry and I wanted a peach, we could get that. The fact if you wanted a tube mod and I wanted a box mod, we could get that, right? That choice, that customization is being taken away from us. That sense of belonging, that sense of camaraderie that we had as vapers, as we held each other's hands through this, and so many people converted, right? If that goes all away, we're never going to see the conversion rate that we had before, right? But what do we do? What do we do when there's nothing left to do?
There's one thing left to do. And I think the most important thing is, and I know, guys, I'm just going to say this again, is that you got to believe in you. You got to believe in your story. And I know giving up, like I'm giving up everything. And I'm at the point where, and Sean McQueen, who I adore, he's this amazing guy out in Oshawa. He said, you know, when you say you have nothing left to lose, why not? So you should bother. Like, why not? I have nothing left to lose. We're at the point here in Canada, we have everything to lose. We need to bother. And we don't know. You know, someone said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again without getting and expecting different results. The other thing that I've learned, and I watched this, Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Gingrich, I think.
Gingrich. She made something that she had this quote in the movie, and I watched her movie, and she said, laws change because of the society around them. And I guess I'm misquoting this, but what we're saying is that if we can change the atmosphere around us, and we have to change that atmosphere, we can do the same thing with different results. And that's what happened in vaping with 𝗓𝗏. And they tried to throw everything at us, but nothing stuck. Then all of a sudden 𝗓𝗏 came along. That fucking stuck like really hard, and we're still picking it off of us. The atmosphere changed, and the force towards vaping. But we can flip that. I totally believe, because if you can't fight for the quality of your life, like if that is not motivation enough, fuck the shop, fuck the money, fuck anything else. Think about you. Put you first. Put your quality of life first. When you start saying to people, no, this is the quality of my life. I have every right, and I'm going to continue to fight for access and my quality of life. People will start believing you. You have to continue to do it. And instead of focusing on the 20 people who tell you to fuck off and shut up, focus on the 2 people that say, I believe in you too. And figure out what you did different with those people and then try it again. Because I guarantee you, there's one thing, like I'm in recovery. So, which if you know anything about the industry, quite a bit of us are in recovery in this industry from other addictions. And one of the things you learn is believing in yourself and understanding that the only thing you can change is your reaction to something. So you have to believe in you. And that is where we need to continue focus. And if someone's going to tell you it's not going to work, fuck them. So what? They don't think it's going to work. Like, don't lose any sleep. You're not like, I mean, obviously if it's your mom or dad, but like, chit chat about it. But most of these people that are telling me I'm wrong, I'm not going to come to them for life-changing advice. The people that believe in what I'm doing, my family, my friends, they understand that. They believe in me because they're there to support me. And then as I'm talking to more and more people and I'm reaching out to outside of the vaping community, people are getting to know me and they're believing in the fight that I'm doing. I'm the president of the I keep dropping this because I think it's a big deal. I'm the president of my Chamber of Commerce. And I told them I was leaving for a month so I wouldn't be able to perform my duties. And everyone wished me luck. They were proud of me for fighting this. This is not about your moral position on vaping. This is about your moral position on someone's constitutional rights, on someone's right to choose how to keep their body healthy, their way. And those are rights that we have. There's not a single study that says what I do to my body when I vape is going to affect the person next to me in a negative way. That's withheld.
God bless you, Maria. This is how much I know about politics. I think that's Newt Gingrich. I said Gingrich. What the fuck do I know? Okay. It's Ginsburg. You were right, Ginsburg. God bless you. I love everything that you just said, and I wish you guys the best of luck. And please do keep us informed, and maybe come back on the show, maybe after the news conference and after the rally, and share.
We can be on the road. You can. We have a full-on internet thingy on the bus.
Okay. Well, we'll figure something out, but we got to get back together because I want to follow this and see how you guys do. Somebody brought up a call-in number that you guys, is like some kind of call-in every day that you guys are doing?
So every day it's call an MP. What we're finding is that if you follow us on Twitter or on our Facebook, or if you want to register for our email, go to our website. The pop-up comes up a lot. And actually, register for emails. What we're doing is we're sharing an MP. The thing is the MP doesn't really need to know where you live. So if you live in the United States, you can call the MP. We have directions at Rights for Vapers with the number 4. And if you follow CDVQ4, that like with the number 4, the posts all get shared between those 2 accounts. You can call and leave a message for the MP and let them know about vaping. And we have clear instructions on how to do that. It's about making noise. It's about making this an issue.
Okay.
And that's the best that we can do. And we don't use all our resources. If you don't think it's going to work, just fucking do it. Just do it. What's 5 minutes of your time? This is going to take 5 minutes. Sending your submission can take 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Trying to go to some random person's house to buy juice in the back of the car can take a lot longer than doing one of those 2 things. Maybe even longer than driving from Toronto to Ottawa.
Could you imagine somebody getting arrested or shot and killed because I wanted to vape a chocolate flavor? Fucking ridiculous. So crazy.
Or I was just picturing myself in prison, at a woman's prison, for my federal offense for showing a picture of someone that said they quit smoking. And, I'm there in the food lineup with my tray, like Orange is the New Black and You know, yo, what did you do? Oh, you know what? Like I shanked my neighbor's husband because he was fucking my whatever. Well, what did you do? Oh, I put up a picture of someone who said they quit smoking through vaping.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Crazy. Have you said it all? Have you gotten everything off of your chest? I have
one thing to say. Thank you.
Aw.
I really appreciate it. And thank you for making me feel safe to be able to speak the way I want to speak. Thank you for making this such an incredible experience. I really appreciate it because, you know, you're great at what you do. And I love this. You were able to be honest with me and share your passion back. And not once did I take it personally. And I was just able to, and I had confidence to challenge you. So thank you very much, because not everyone does that.
And I appreciate that. And you know what? We should take something from that. What we should take from that is that even if people, and this is like beyond vaping, right? This is a problem with society in general. Even if people disagree, even if people don't believe in the same thing, I don't have to hate them, and they don't have to hate me back. We can still be civilized and enjoy each other's company and hang out and have a beer or coffee, right? I wish more people would think that way and respect each other as a human being as opposed to a political or ideological, a political opinion. How about that? You know? Yeah.
Have confidence. Have confidence to have your position challenged, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So again, just for everything that we talked about tonight, the phone. You give me the phone number too, because I don't think I have that. And everything will be over on tasteyourjuice.com with the replay of tonight's show. So we always ask you guys, because I did look. There are like 15%. Like, I'm not trying to grow the channel at this point. I'm not. Whatever happens with the channel, I've never been about smash the like button and subscribe. You've never heard that from me, right? You know, but it does help if you do hit the like button, and if you do share this video, not because I want to grow the channel. Share this video because we want to help Canada not have a flavor ban. That makes sense? I hope it does. All right, guys. We still have to announce the winner. Good job, Maria. Very, very good. I hope this helps your effort up there, and I wish you guys the best of luck, because we might have to come driving over the border to get our flavors eventually.
No, I want everybody to have access to flavors.
Everybody should have access to flavors like the delicious watermelon peach, the #1 best-selling flavor in the unsalted line. Maria, thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. You can go ahead and hang up. I'm just gonna go switch over to the main camera. I'll talk to you after the show or tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow's good. Bye.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Maria. Oh, that was good. How was that? Was that good? Did I do a good job filling in there for Dimitri? You know, it's challenging. Dimitri, that's there's some big shoes to fill there. Some big Greek shoes to fill there. Byron still, I agree, man. A 40-foot tall 𝗶𝗵𝗶, I think. Yeah, Jimmy's saying no. 40's too short. We got to go with the 50. All right, we have to give away the giveaway. So what we did on the last show is we asked you to mention what you miss about like the old days of vaping. So I went over to the YouTube comments and I pulled everybody's name who said I missed this. So we'll go ahead and draw a name at random, and I think I have everything that they wrote down too. So once I have the name, I could see what they said, and hopefully it wasn't something silly. I'm going to go ahead and say this before I draw the random name. If it is one of our admins, whether it be for the YouTube channel or whether it be for the Facebook groups, I'm allowing them to be in it. Okay, so if they happen to win, it's still going to be random. All right, it's I'm saying it's okay. They help me out a lot. All right, thank you, Steve. And by the way, no technical difficulties really tonight, right? Right. All right, so let's go over to let me see if I click this button over here. That's random.org, and if I go over there, should I do this like I do it for the tasteyourjuice.com regular reviews? All right, you guys, here we are on random.org. This is a list randomizer, just like we always do. For this particular not a contest, even though it's not a contest, I don't know how many people entered, but we will find out as soon as I click randomized. So let's find out who won. Good luck, everybody. And the winner is I really didn't tell you what you're going to win yet. I mean, I told you at the beginning of the show. Oh, the suspense is just killing me. I told you at the beginning of the show, but I didn't tell you right now, so I'll tell you again right now. So what you're going to win, and I still don't have it. I still don't have it in my hand. I should, but there's no way for me to get. So like ordinarily, I would say, hey, Dimitri, do me a favor, talk for a minute. I'll go get it. And then he's going to send me a message tonight. You should have had it in your hand, Phil. And I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should have, but I don't. Okay. But what you are going to win is you're going to win a 𝗬𝗵𝗶𝗃 kit, right? You're going to get the kit, and on the leather, it's going to say the DP show. There's only like 4 of them made in the world. How special will you be showing that you support DP on your device? And we're going to throw in, on top of the kit, we're going to throw in the limited edition Gold Zenith. I don't even think you can buy the Gold Zenith, all right? So now we'll go over back to random.org. So here we are in random.org. This is a list randomizer, just like we always do for this particular not a contest, which is not a contest. We have, and I don't know how many people have entered, but I will find out when I click the randomize button, which I'm going to do right now. Good luck, everybody. And the winner is Randall Hayes. Congratulations, Randall Hayes. You are the big wiener. How did I do? Did the announcer voice come through? Was it exciting for you as it was for me? I hope so. Randall Hayes. So just get a hold of me, Randall. Get a hold of me on tasteyourjuice.com. Well, you can send me an email at 𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗀@tasteyourjuice.com, or you can just get a hold of me on Facebook. But you got to get a hold of me, because there's no way really for me to get a hold of you. Let's see what Randall wrote. And that's how we will end off. I hope he wrote something cool and not something silly. And that's how we'll end off this night. I think I have to go to, where did I put them in here. Okay. So here, and I'm going to go find, I'm going to find that name. I'm going to go click next. And then next. What? Why is it not coming up? I thought I wrote down everything that everybody wrote. All right, let me go over to the actual video and see if I could find Randall. Don't tell me I picked a name that actually didn't leave the proper comment, because that would suck. I'll give it to you anyway, but all right, let's see. If I go over here and then I go to comments and I click find that name, like seriously, where the fuck is it? Bill, are you sending it to me? Find V. Well, there were no technical difficulties until right now. I don't understand why his name is not coming up. I copied every name by hand this afternoon, and he's not coming up. Randall Hayes. Let's see. Bill, you find anything? Randall, better answer. He was a runner-up. No, great job, Phil. Thank you very much, David. Did you ever draw the names for a habit contest? No, I have not. That'll be in the next video, or that'll be on Taste Your Juice with the next video. All right. So anyway, Randall Hayes won, but for some reason I cannot find his response in the comments. Why is that? That's kind of, I'm not going to lie to you, that's making me a little cranky. Huh. Yeah. Okay, why? All right. I don't know what I did wrong, but I did something wrong. But anyway, Randall Hayes, you won it. And if I can't find Randall in here, I'll do another contest for you guys that actually entered, okay, or did it the right way. I have a message coming in. Maybe Bill found it. Maybe he did. Winner DP show, Randall Hayes still searching. No, he didn't. Okay, so I don't know how the hell his name got in there. But anyway, that is the end. That is the end of this show, guys, tonight. Thank you very much, Maria. I wish you guys a whole lot of luck up there in Canada for your fight, the same way we're fighting here for our right to vape and our right to choose what we want as far as flavors. So frustrating, guys. I feel very, very defeated, very, very frustrated by this industry and everything that's going on. I know it was there. My comment was right under Randall's. Yeah, right? I don't know what's going on. All right, we'll figure it out. But anyway, again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Next Tuesday, hopefully Dimitri will be back, and hopefully we'll have something to talk about. I'm sure we will. Until then, you guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.